What if the reason you're not feeling truly happy has nothing to do with your life, but everything to do with how you see it? Think about that for a moment. Because most people spend years chasing happiness without ever stopping to understand what it actually is. They believe happiness will come one day when life feels easier, one day when they have more money, one day when everything finally works out. But that one day keeps moving further away. And slowly, they get used to living without real happiness. Here's the truth most people never realize. Happiness is not something waiting for you in the future. It's something you build in the way you think, in the way you respond, and in the way you treat yourself every single day. A happy life is not perfect. It's not a life without problems. It's not a life where everything goes your way. It's a life where your mind feels lighter, where your thoughts are not constantly against you, where you are not at war with yourself. And that changes everything. In this video, we're going to talk about 8 powerful lessons that can completely shift the way you experience your life. These are not complicated ideas, but if you truly understand them and start applying them slowly, you'll notice something beautiful. Your mind will feel calmer, your days will feel more meaningful, and happiness will stop feeling so far away. So take a deep breath and really listen, because this might be the moment you start seeing your life differently. Lesson 1. Accept yourself without fighting yourself. One of the biggest reasons people feel unhappy is not because of their life, but because of how they treat themselves. They compare, they criticize, they replay their mistakes, they focus on everything that is not enough. And without realizing it, they become their own biggest source of stress. Imagine living with someone who constantly criticizes you. Every mistake you make, they remind you. Every weakness you have, they point it out. You would feel exhausted, right? Now, imagine that voice is inside your own mind. That is how many people live every single day. And the truth is, you cannot feel peaceful while constantly rejecting who you are. Self-acceptance does not mean you stop improving. It doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you stop hating yourself while you are trying to grow. Because no one is perfect. Not you, not anyone you admire, not anyone you compare yourself to. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has regrets. Everyone has made mistakes. That is part of being human. But many people make one mistake. They believe they must become perfect before they are allowed to feel happy. And that belief quietly destroys their peace. Real happiness begins the moment you say, I may not be perfect, but I am still worthy of respect, growth, and a better life. And something powerful happens when you do this. Your mind becomes calmer. Instead of attacking yourself, you start supporting yourself. Instead of feeling stuck in guilt, you start learning. Instead of comparing your life, you start building it. Because the relationship you have with yourself is the one that shapes your entire life. You wake up with it, you live with it, you think through it. So if that relationship becomes calmer, your whole life becomes lighter. And that is where real happiness begins. Lesson 2. Learn to live in the present moment. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to feel happy is because their mind is almost never where their life actually is. Their body is here, but their mind is somewhere else, thinking about the past, worrying about the future, replaying old mistakes, imagining problems that haven't even happened yet. And while all of that is happening, they miss the only moment that truly exists, right now. Think about it. How often are you fully present in your own life? Not distracted, not overthinking, not rushing to the next thing, just present. The truth is simple. Your life is not happening in the past. Your life is not happening in the future. Your life is happening right now. But most people never fully experience it because their mind is always somewhere else. And when your mind is never present, peace becomes very difficult. But the moment you start practicing presence, everything begins to change. Simple moments start to feel meaningful. A quiet morning feels calm instead of empty. A walk outside feels peaceful instead of boring. A conversation feels deeper instead of rushed. Nothing about your life has changed, but the way you experience it has, and that's powerful. Living in the present does not mean ignoring your future. It means you stop letting the future steal your peace today. It means you stop carrying yesterday's weight into today. Because the more present you become, the more you start noticing things you once ignored. The small moments, the quiet beauty, the simple peace. And slowly, happiness stops being something you chase in the future. It becomes something you experience in the present. Because the happiest people are not those with perfect lives. They are the ones who have learned how to be fully present in the life they already have. Lesson 3. Stop comparing your life to others. Now let's talk about something that quietly destroys happiness: comparison. Today, many people wake up, pick up their phone, open social media, and within seconds, they start comparing their life with someone else's. They see someone traveling, someone making money, someone looking successful, someone looking happy. And suddenly, their own life starts to feel smaller. Their progress feels slow. Their achievements feel less important. Their happiness starts to fade. But here's the truth most people forget. You are not seeing someone's full life. You are seeing a highlight. You are seeing what they choose to show. You are not seeing their struggles, their stress, their failures, their doubts. Comparison creates an illusion. It makes you believe that everyone else is ahead of you, and you are somehow behind. But life is not a race. There is no single timeline. Everyone is on a different path. Some people start early. Some people start late. Some people grow fast. Some people grow slowly. And none of that makes one life more valuable than another. The real problem with comparison is this: it takes your focus away from your own journey. You stop seeing how far you've come. You stop appreciating your progress. You stop recognizing your effort. Imagine climbing a mountain, but instead of looking at your own steps, you keep looking at others. You will never feel proud of your climb. But the moment you shift your focus back to yourself, everything changes. You start noticing your growth. You start appreciating your effort. You start feeling proud of your progress. And that brings peace. Because happiness is not about being better than others. It's about becoming better than who you were yesterday. Ask yourself, are you growing? Are you learning? Are you becoming stronger? If the answer is yes, then you are already moving in the right direction. So stop comparing. Focus on your path. Trust your journey. Because the moment you stop comparing, your mind becomes lighter, and life becomes something you experience with gratitude instead of pressure. Lesson 4. Be grateful for what you already have. Most people believe they will finally feel happy when they achieve more. More money, more success, more recognition, a better life. They think, once I reach that point, then I'll feel satisfied. But there's a quiet problem with that way of thinking. If you only allow yourself to feel happy when everything becomes perfect, you will spend most of your life waiting. Because life is never perfect. There will always be something you're still working toward, another goal, another problem, another expectation. And if your happiness depends on reaching a perfect moment, you will always feel like something is missing. But here's what truly changes everything. Happiness doesn't only come from achieving more. It also comes from appreciating what you already have. Think about your life right now. Your health, your ability to think, learn, and grow, the people who care about you, the opportunities you still have in front of you. These things may feel normal, but they are not small. They are powerful. And when you start noticing them, your perspective begins to shift. Instead of constantly focusing on what's missing, you begin to see what's already present. Instead of feeling like your life is not enough, you begin to realize how much you already have. And that feeling brings peace. Gratitude is not about ignoring your goals. It's not about stopping your growth. It's about learning to appreciate your life while you are still building it. Because when you can feel thankful in the present moment, you stop chasing happiness and start experiencing it. A simple habit can change everything. At the end of your day, ask yourself, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? They don't have to be big. A calm moment, a meaningful conversation, a small step forward. When you train your mind to notice these things, your brain slowly shifts. You start seeing beauty where you once saw problems. And suddenly, your life begins to feel more meaningful. Because a grateful mind does not wait for a perfect life. It finds peace in the life it already has. Lesson 5. Let go of hate and protect your peace. Many people carry something heavy inside them without even realizing it. Anger, resentment, hate. Maybe it's because of something someone said, something someone did, or something that happened in the past. At first, those emotions can feel powerful. It feels like you are holding on to your pain to protect yourself. But the truth is very different. Hate does not hurt the other person. It hurts you. Because every time you replay that memory, every time you think about that person, your mind becomes heavy again. Your peace disappears. It's like carrying a weight inside you every single day. And over time, that weight becomes exhausting. Here's something important to understand. You can protect yourself without carrying hate. You can set boundaries, you can walk away, you can choose distance, but you don't have to carry anger to do that. Because letting go is not about them, it's about you. It's about freeing your mind from something that is draining your energy. Forgiveness does not always mean accepting someone back into your life. It simply means, I'm no longer going to let this control me. And when you reach that point, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes lighter, your thoughts become calmer, your energy becomes stronger. You create space inside yourself for better things, for peace, for clarity, for growth. Because a peaceful life is not built by holding on to pain. It's built by learning how to release it. The happiest people are not those who have never been hurt. They are the ones who chose not to carry that hurt forever. So let go, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Lesson 6. Stop worrying about everything. There is one habit that silently steals happiness from millions of people, and most of them don't even realize it. Worrying. Not just thinking, but constant worrying. Worrying about the future, worrying about money, worrying about what others think, worrying about problems that haven't even happened yet. Their mind is always busy, imagining what could go wrong. But here's something important to understand. Most of the things we worry about never actually happen. They exist only in our imagination. And while we are worrying about those imaginary problems, we forget to live the life that is actually happening right now. Worrying feels like you are doing something, but in reality, it changes nothing. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't improve the situation. It doesn't make the future better. It only drains your energy. Think about this simple idea. If a problem can be solved, worrying will not help. Taking action will. And if a problem cannot be solved right now, worrying still will not help. Calm thinking and patience will. In both cases, worrying is useless. But learning to manage your thoughts, that changes everything. Because you cannot control everything in life. You cannot control every situation. You cannot control other people. You cannot control unexpected events. But you can control one thing: your response. You can choose where your energy goes. You can choose to focus on what you can do instead of what you can't control. And the moment you make that shift, your mind becomes calmer. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you begin to feel capable. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" you start asking, "What can I do right now?" And that question gives you power. Because a peaceful mind is not created by eliminating all problems. It is created by learning how to face them without letting worry control your life. The less you worry, the more space your mind has for clarity, focus, and peace. And that is where happiness begins to grow. Lesson 7. Let go of the past. Another reason many people struggle to feel happy is because they are still living in the past. Not physically, but mentally. They replay old mistakes. They revisit painful memories. They think about things they wish had gone differently, again and again. Sometimes it's something that happened years ago, but their mind keeps bringing it back as if it just happened yesterday. And without realizing it, they become trapped in something they cannot change. Here's the truth. The past is gone. No matter how many times you think about it, analyze it, or replay it, you cannot change it. But you can learn from it. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every failure carries growth. Every difficult experience carries wisdom. But that only happens when you treat the past as a teacher, not as a prison. Many people keep punishing themselves for things that are already over. They keep saying, "I should have done better. I wish I had made a different choice. I regret that moment." But repeating those thoughts does not help you grow. It only keeps you stuck. Imagine carrying a heavy bag filled with old memories and regrets. At first, it may not feel too heavy, but over time, it becomes exhausting. It slows you down. It takes away your energy. Now, imagine putting that bag down. Suddenly, you feel lighter. You move easier. You breathe easier. You think clearer. That is exactly what happens when you let go of the past. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means accepting. It means learning. It means choosing to move forward. Because life is always moving forward, whether you are ready or not. And happiness belongs to those who stop living in yesterday and start building today. Your past is part of your story, but it does not have to control your future. The moment you decide to release it, you give yourself something powerful: freedom. And from that freedom, a new life can begin. Lesson 8. Learn to control your thoughts and emotions. Your life is not shaped only by what happens to you. It is shaped by how you think about what happens. Most people believe their emotions come from situations. They think, "This happened, so I feel this way." But the truth is deeper than that. It's not just what happens, it's how you interpret it. Two people can go through the same situation and feel completely different. One sees failure and feels defeated. Another sees the same failure and sees a lesson. The difference is not the situation. The difference is the mind. Your thoughts create your emotions. And if you don't learn to manage your thoughts, your emotions will control your life. Think about how many thoughts pass through your mind every day. Some are helpful, some are negative, some create fear, doubt, or stress. But here's something powerful. Not every thought deserves your attention. Just because you think something does not mean it is true. Sometimes your mind exaggerates problems. Sometimes it creates fear that isn't real. Sometimes it focuses only on what's wrong. And if you follow every thought blindly, your peace disappears. So instead of believing every thought, start observing them. Pause and ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's not helping you, you don't have to keep feeding it. You can shift your focus. You can choose a better perspective. You can train your mind. And the same goes for your emotions. Emotions are natural. You will feel anger. You will feel sadness. You will feel frustration. That is part of being human. But you don't have to let those emotions control your actions. When you learn to pause, when you learn to respond instead of react, something powerful happens. You gain control. And with that control comes stability. Because life will always have challenges. But when your mind becomes stronger, those challenges no longer control your peace. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you start focusing on solutions. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond thoughtfully. And that is where true strength comes from. Happiness is not about eliminating all negative emotions. It's about learning how to manage your mind so those emotions don't control your life. A calm mind creates a calm life. Final message. If you look back at everything we've talked about, you'll notice something simple but powerful. Happiness is not something you find one day. It's something you build. In the way you think, in the way you respond, in the way you treat yourself, in the way you live each day. It's in accepting yourself instead of fighting yourself. It's in being present instead of lost in your thoughts. It's in focusing on your journey instead of comparing it. It's in appreciating what you have instead of chasing what's missing. It's in letting go of hate and protecting your peace. It's in worrying less and trusting yourself more. It's in releasing the past and giving yourself a fresh start. And most importantly, it's in learning to guide your own mind. Because the moment your mind becomes your ally, your life becomes lighter. And when your life feels lighter, happiness is no longer something far away. It becomes something you experience every single day. So take a moment and ask yourself, what is one small change I can make today that my future self will thank me for? Start there. Because sometimes a better life doesn't begin with a big decision. It begins with one small shift. And if this message made you pause and think, you can share your thoughts in the comments. Because your story, your perspective, might help someone else too. And sometimes that's how change begins.